LA Mayor Karen Bass is minutes away from delivering her State of the City address. I'm live outside City Hall with all the latest updates.
Cadillac converter thefts are up 300% since 2020. We'll show you why these car parts are worth more than their weight in gold.
Fentanyl took the life of her son, and now this mother is on the mission to save others like him. We'll show you how this mother channeled her grief into action.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Mayor Karen Bass will deliver her first State of the City address at Los Angeles City Hall any moment now. Hi, I'm Irene Kim.
And I'm John Walker. Mayor Bass will talk about the progress she's made in her first 100 days in office. Reporter Marissa Rio is live outside of City Hall right now. Marissa, what can you tell us about tonight's event?
Yeah, John, Mayor Karen Bass is set to take the podium any minute now. She's expected to address issues such as the homelessness crisis and public safety. She'll also discuss what she's done since she took office and her future plans on improving the city. The president of a local nonprofit homeless shelter spoke to us about Bass's first 100 days in office.
We continue to be overwhelmed by the number of families in need, but we do feel like, yes, we have a very strong partner who's done more in 100 days than other mayors have done in a complete term. We have hope on the horizon because she's personally promised me in her new budget, she's going to focus on recovery and perhaps even faith-based recovery.
Bass pledged to house 17,000 homeless people in her first year in office. So far, her Inside Safe initiative has housed more than 4,000 people. Bass also wants to hire 400 more police officers and provide training to better respond to mental health emergencies. I will be back shortly with more updates on the mayor's address. Until then, back to you in the studio.
LAPD held an event in Griffith Park to etch vehicle ID numbers on catalytic converters to combat theft. We spoke with a victim who had his catalytic converter swiped.
So the guy in my who runs the auto body shop I go to, Long Automotive on Rowena, he said that the back orders were a matter of months, maybe even up to 6 months.
At the event known as the Etch and Catch program, mechanics lift cars slightly off the ground before etching VIN numbers with a power tool. Hundreds of drivers have made appointments. A detective tells us why these thefts keep happening.
What thieves are doing is they want to get underneath these vehicles to steal the catalytics. Inside there are the precious metals of palladium, rhodium, and those precious metals are actually worth more than gold.
Thieves can take the catalytic converters off in just under 60 seconds. They can sell the parts for hundreds of dollars each. Victims can spend more than $1,000 on a replacement. Opioids, primarily fentanyl, are a leading cause of overdose deaths, according to the CDC. Reporter Hannah Joy introduces us to a mother who lost her son to fentanyl and is now traveling the country determined to stop this crisis.
Julie Shamash is living any mother's worst nightmare.
And the paramedic looks at me and says, I'm sorry, he didn't make it. And literally, it's like you see in the movies. Evidently, I started screaming.
Her son Tyler died of a fentanyl overdose while being in a rehab facility. He was 19. He started smoking marijuana when he was 13 because he had anxiety and wanted to fit in.
He was self-medicating. Eventually, it becomes not enough.
Tyler was really good at fixing all kinds of machines. Now his mother is helping fix a deadly problem faced by parents of children struggling with drug addiction.
I think my personal biggest success is getting Tyler's Law passed.
Tyler's Law requires that all California hospitals screen for fentanyl whenever a urine drug test is ordered. This law went into effect at the beginning of this year.
Because a lot of doctors don't realize that they're not testing for fentanyl.
These days, this stay-at-home mom is away from home a lot, urging lawmakers to prevent an epidemic of fentanyl deaths. She testified in Maryland and just got back from talking to lawmakers in Georgia.
I'm trying to prevent this from happening to anyone else.
She agrees with the mother of another teenage fentanyl victim who is trying to force schools to educate students, teachers, and parents about the danger of this drug.
That's why, like on my website, we have how to make it safer. Use with a friend, use testing strips, make sure you have Narcan around.
This is her message to parents. The 3 most dangerous words in the English language are "not my child." For Annenberg Media, I am Hannah Joy.
The gap between seasons of your favorite TV shows might get a little longer. Writers Guild members overwhelmingly authorized a strike, with 97% supporting a work stoppage. A strike can be avoided if the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers representing the studios can come to an agreement by May 1st. That's when the contract expires. The last strike was in 2007. Student workers across CSU campuses petitioned to form a union today. Organizers cited low pay, low hours, and lack of representation as issues a student worker union could solve.
There's no time off, paid time off. There's nothing like that. We're not really afforded the luxuries. Honestly, not even luxuries. We're not even afforded the basic, necessities to be able to complete our job. There's this misconception that when people want to unionize, it's because they expect their employer to get them, a house in Beverly Hills and have a nice car. That's not the case. We want to survive.
After today, union leadership and the California Public Employment Relations Board will meet to determine the total number of CSU student workers. From there, they will determine a date for a union vote. Negotiations for a vote are in progress, but once scheduled, 50% of the votes cast by student workers must be in favor of the union for approval.
With Earth Day this Saturday, USC Vintage is trying to convince students to show their school spirit sustainably. USC Vintage is a business that sells used and classic USC merchandise. Owner Jack Ingstrom says buying secondhand clothing is more climate friendly because many older items were made with good materials made to last longer.
It's like 700 and 900 gallons of water to produce one t-shirt new, which is like if you drank water for 2.5 years. So if you just buy one used t-shirt, you're saving like that much water. It's good that people are taking a notice to it, and a lot of people are shopping secondhand and making that change. So that's helping a lot.
You can find USC Vintage on Instagram or catch them in person at their pop-up events on campus or at the Village.
Streaming services are now taking you live. We'll show you how streaming giants are straying away from their typical binge-worthy content.
Los Angeles showed out in the NBA playoffs this weekend. Find out more about this weekend's biggest games and what's coming up in men's basketball next.
The music of the night has officially come to an end. Phantom of the Opera took its final bow last Sunday. We'll have more from the show's music director across the pond.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to Media Minute, a segment where we discuss the hottest topics in the entertainment industry.
And tonight's hot topic, live streaming issues. Now last night, Netflix Love is Blind Live finally was canceled due to technical issues. The streamer put out this tweet, quote, "To everyone who stayed up late, woke up early, gave up their Sunday afternoon, we are incredibly sorry that Love is Blind live reunion did not turn out as we had planned. We're filming it now and we have it on Netflix as soon as humanly possible. Again, thank you and sorry."
They should just stick to being convenient. I think instead of trying to be like cable TV, I think they should just stick to being convenient. That's how, streaming services are becoming popular, in this day and age.
I think live streaming on these platforms like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, and so on will become better as we, go on. Technology is not perfect at the beginning, and I think these companies have to, get better at it.
Yeah, I mean, John, I understand where both students are coming for. I think Love is Blind, what happened on Netflix, was kind of a technical issue, but not really a streaming and a live platform issue. I think it was kind of more bringing up that conversation of, are we moving to now live streaming? What is going on? Is this the new norm? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think this has brought up conversation about our streaming service is just trying to do too much now.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with the guy at the end. It's just about, it's new for them. They're trying to brush out the kinks. There are going to be kinks in the beginning.
Yeah.
However, we do have to remember that they will get ironed out as soon as possible. I mean, plenty of other platforms are doing it. We have Disney Plus with Dancing with the Stars. We have Apple TV with MLB, Amazon with Thursday Night Football, YouTube TV just got NFL Sunday Night Ticket. So it's going to be a learning curve for some of these platforms, and especially for Netflix. I mean, they just did it with Chris Rock and it went out without a hitch, but we're one of two. So we'll have to keep going forward if they can do it.
No, exactly. I mean, the Chris Rock one went fine, but I think now what's going to happen is we're going back to cable TV in some way, We're like, all right, we don't like cable TV. We're not going to do live anymore. Watch it 24/7 anywhere. And now we're going back and being like, hey, now things are live. If you want to see us live, go and do live streams. So we'll see what happens, John?
Yeah, definitely. And fans were clearly upset last night, but it's not without the internet having a little bit of fun. Look at this tweet from Blockbuster that made headlines. They quote saying, "Remember renting VHSs from us? You could start it on time, no problem. This is what we get now."
Oh, Blockbuster, they're such icons for that. The finale is now finally online, and this might be the perfect week to stay inside and binge the season. Malcolm, what is weather looking like? Let us know.
Thanks, Irene. This week is looking like the perfect weather to stay inside and take a look at some shows. Let's take a look at that current forecast for today. 63 degrees with 62% humidity and extremely cloudy. Expect a gentle breeze as we drift into the night. Let's check out that 5-day forecast. If you are from the UK, you'll feel right at home this week. Tuesday looks like it didn't drink its morning coffee. Cloudy skies with a high of 64 and a low of 49 with a slight chance of rain in the morning. Moving to the middle of the week, we'll see more overcast weather, highs in the 60s with lows in the 50s. By Thursday, we start to warm up and it's time to boogie, baby, because we hit in the 70s. And as we slide into the end of the work week, Friday, we got sunny skies with a high of 83, a low of 61. And heading into the weekend, it will be partially cloudy and we will remain in the 80s at 85 degrees for a high, 60 for your low. We're going to send it over to Mehek for some more on Worldwide Wellness.
Hi, I'm Mehek, and for this week's Worldwide Wellness segment, we're going to be focusing on the wellness of planet Earth. Joining me here today for Earth Week is Andrew Bowig from the Environmental Student Assembly as the Director of Community Outreach. Hi, Andrew. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's just dive right in. I know a lot of students at USC really care about sustainability, but struggle to translate that care into action. What is a great first step that students can take?
I really think a great first step is to get involved in one of the many orgs on campus. Now, I come here as a representative of the Environmental Student Assembly. However, we are an umbrella org. We have several member orgs, including the SC Garden Club, Peaks with Professors, Clover. There are so many ways that students can get involved just by showing up to a meeting.
That seems like a really great first step. That seems really implementable. I know there's a lot of defeatism culture that surrounds sustainability. Like, yes, students can take these small steps, but when large corporations are really negatively impacting the environment, it can seem almost insignificant. What would you say to students who have that kind of viewpoint?
I will say that students even at USC have made a big impact. Several years back, Divest SC was led by the Environmental Student Assembly in order to try and get USC as an institution to disinvest from fossil fuel companies, and that succeeded. USC no longer puts any of their money towards fossil fuels. Of course, there are always some other contingencies with that.
That seems like a really strong impact that students have made. I know actually USC is hosting quite a couple of events this week in honor of Earth Week. What are some of the best ones you think that we should attend?
I want to highlight the ESA's Earth Month speaker. We have one every year. This year we have Leah Thomas, a renowned activist and author. She's most known for her book, The Intersectional Environmentalist, which she coined the term herself, and will be talking to us about the transition from academia to activism.
Wow, that sounds really great. I'll be sure to attend. That's all we have time for today, folks. But thank you so much, Andrew, for joining us today. I'll now pass it off to Adam for sports.
Coming up next on ATVN Sports, we're going to give you a look at the Lakers and Clippers and how they're doing in the playoffs. We're also going to give our thoughts on spring football. Coming up next, that and more.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch!
Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Adam Jasper.
I'm Will Simons.
And I'm Chaz Messman. USC football capped off spring ball with their annual spring game in the Coliseum. The defense took the dub, defeating the offense 42-34. Caleb Williams was honored at halftime for his Heisman Trophy win last season. Williams played only one possession on Saturday, leading the team down the field for a touchdown in only 3 plays. Jacoby Covington was the MVP for the defense, with 2 interceptions, including the game-clinching pick as time expired. Freshman defensive back Christian Pierce's performance was praised by numerous coaches and players. In the second half, Pierce picked off Malachi Nelson, capping off a fantastic spring for the early enrollee. Other standouts from the game include freshman wide receiver Zachariah Branch and freshman running back Quentin Joyner.
The body types, some of the size, especially at the line of scrimmage, some of the competitive depth at a lot of these positions is very different and in a much positive way. So very, very excited about that. It's been a really nice spring. This is a great way to finish it off.
All right, boys, you heard it here first from Lincoln Riley. He thinks that the USC is going to be much improved in the trenches, and that defense, we can see it be more physical. But is it good enough to really challenge for a college football playoff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to worry about the offense at this point. It's going to be really good again. As long as Caleb Williams is there, it's going to be good. But I'm still worried about the tackling on the defense. It wasn't great in the spring practice. I know it's a spring game. You can't take too much stock into that, but it's still got to get a lot better if this team's going to be a college football playoff contender.
And I agree with that, but the guys that they've added in the trenches are just so huge. Anthony Lucas, Jack Sullivan, and then Mason Cobb as well, some linebackers. And I think they've done a really good job of beefing up those spots. It is certainly still a concern, but I think they might have more bodies, and that might just be all the difference.
Yeah, the depth is what can really make a difference here. I mean, you could see one of those guys goes down. Thule went down at one point last year. Defense fell apart. So definitely, I think USC is going to be a much improved defensive team. But like you said, it's going to be a lot of shootouts, especially down the stretch when you got to go play the likes of a Bo Nix at Oregon and a Michael Penix Jr. at Washington.
Absolutely, and we will see. August 26th is that first game for USC football. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and the two Los Angeles teams are already off to a hot start. It's time to talk about the Lake Show. The 7-seed Lakers took down the 2-seed Memphis Grizzlies in Game 1 behind a fourth-quarter takeover from Austin Reeves. LA's other team stole Game 1 too. The 5-seed Clippers beat the 4-seed Phoenix Suns on the road. Kawhi Leonard hadn't played a playoff game since 2021, but his return was worth the wait. He had 38 points to give the Clips a 1-0 series lead. So Lakers and Clippers are both 1-0 up, but who has the best chance of getting out of the first round?
I'm going with the Clippers. They're already a game up, and they're playing a perennial choker in Chris Paul. I mean, it happens every year. It's going to happen again. I think the Clippers make it through this round.
See, I'm going to go with the Lakers. There's a significant doubt, in quotes, that Ja Morant won't be able to play Wednesday for Game 2. And if they don't have him, I'm going to struggle to believe that the Grizzlies can beat the Lakers in that second game. And then they'd be down 2-0, losing 2 games at home. Now they have to go on the road to LA to try and save themselves. I don't see that happening. Give me the Lakers.
Yeah, I like the Lakers too. I think they finally built a roster around LeBron James that works. A lot of shooters, guys like Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, people that can make stuff happen and take the pressure off him in those big time moments. So I'm going with the Lakers as well.
Personally, I'll be watching the Warriors game tonight. Hopefully they can tie that series up. And then in addition to the spring football game, it was another busy weekend for USC athletics, including 6 ranked squads in action. Let's take a look at our Trojan Sports Spotlight segment. Starting off on a more somber note, Oregon State put an end to USC baseball's hot streak this weekend, sweeping the Trojans in Corvallis. Despite scoring 7.2 runs per game entering the series, USC managed just 9 over 3 games. Saturday's game was the most dramatic, with the Beavers winning 3-2 via walk-off in the 13th inning. Meanwhile, some other Trojan squads remained on fire, like top-ranked women's water polo. The Trojans took down number 19 Arizona State 15-11 Saturday on Senior Day. Redshirt junior 2-meter Tilly Kearns had 4 goals in the Trojans' 12th straight win. USC women's lacrosse beat Colorado 17-13 Friday, but trailed against Oregon early on Sunday. However, 4 goals from junior attacker Maggie Brown helped USC pull away for a 10-5 victory. That win clinched USC at least a share of the Pac-12 regular season title. Both men's and women's tennis continued strong seasons with sweeps of Oregon over the weekend. The 10th-ranked men's side also added a 4-1 home victory against Washington. Each squad will face off against UCLA this week, with Pac-12 championships looming ahead. Men's volleyball took both matches against Concordia University Irvine this weekend, including a 3-0 win Saturday on senior night. Finally, number 2 ranked women's beach volleyball dropped just its second duel of the season to number 3 UCLA on Saturday. Whew, that's all we have time for today on ATVN Sports. I'm Will Simons.
I'm Adam Jasper.
And I'm Chaz Messman. Back to news.
The longest-running show in Broadway history has concluded its run. We'll bring you one of the music director's experience with the show.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
Big budget films are a surprising source of carbon dioxide emissions. To educate film students about the environmental impact of filmmaking and show them how it can be done better, the Media Institute of Social Change at USC is holding a panel today on sustainable filmmaking.
I think it's really important for students to get on the environmental filmmaking train, because we shouldn't take advantage of the environment and damage the environment while we make beautiful art.
But in the standard basic core curriculum classes at the USC School of Cinematic Arts, I don't think I recall ever having a professor or a curriculum enforce green sets or sustainable sets.
A few practices that could decrease the film industry's carbon footprint are avoiding the use of gas generators, implementing the use of reusable food containers, and repurposing props and costumes. Producing a blockbuster movie emits nearly 3,000 tons of carbon dioxide. That's like running about 600 gas-powered cars for a year.
And after a historic 35-year run, the Phantom of the Opera took its final bow last night. That's nearly 14,000 performances and 7 Tony Awards for Broadway's longest-running show. After the announcement, weekly sales nearly tripled to $3.6 million. Total ticket sales from Phantom since its opening in 1988, $1.3 billion. And the show has created more than 6,000 jobs. One of the first music directors of the show reflects on Andrew Lloyd Webber's masterpiece.
My prediction was absolutely that it would go on, that it would be the longest running musical ever. It's so many things in that production, the costumes, the scenery, I mean, it just has you mesmerized. The Phantom will be the mousetrap of musicals because it's absolutely full every night. Every time I saw it, even knowing it so well, I still have the same effect on me. That's greatness for you.
Although the Majestic Theater will remove the show from the marquee, some are predicting the Phantom will return to another theater. All right, now let's go back live to Marissa outside on City Hall, where Mayor Karen Bass' State of the City address is underway. Marissa, what's going on over there?
You haven't missed much yet. They've only done the invocation so far, but let's go inside City Hall and take a look at what's going on.
6th District, we will be swearing in our 7th female council member, and we nearly will have half of this council will be women for the first time in our city's history. So this council is a very new and very different council, and we are, one and all, eager to link arms with our new mayor and together to build the future the people of Los Angeles deserve. And one of the most promising aspects of the mayor's approach has been her pursuit to closer integration, not only within this building, between the mayor's office and the council, but also between the city of Los Angeles and other bodies of government, our friends in the federal government, our friends in the state government, and especially with the county of Los Angeles. Mayor Bass very well understands how vital that partnership is to all of our success in virtually all of the policy challenges that are before us right now. And we have a unique moment right now to build that relationship with a very enthusiastic partner. The current chair.
We'll show you how to stay tuned back in the studio. For Annenberg Media, I'm Marissa Rio.
To watch the State of the City address, go to lacityview.org/live. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. For everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Irene Kim.
And I'm John Walker. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.